Hello and welcome back to Plants vs Zombies. We finished two-thirds of the way through the fog levels, and we're going through the last the last third of it. And this is where we show off the worst, another very bad enemy in the game, the pogo stick zombies, as you can see right there.
Yummers.
Yes. It hops over everything except for like tall nuts. Which is why I brought tall nuts in here. And they're also because of their pogo sticks, they're also they're also like stupidly strong. Emphasis on stupidly.
Yeah, I imagine.
But instead of having walnuts or tall nuts, we also have another means of defense: the pumpkins. They plant you plant pumpkins over another plant, like say a pea shooter or something like that, and it protects the pea shooter from being eaten because the pumpkin's there. So that's pretty cool. I'd say I love the pumpkins, especially when you combine the pumpkins with the tall nuts. You just have like those zombies are gonna have a really hard time, eating through that shit. And it's glorious.
Yeah. So did any of you have the chance to play the Steam version of Big Rigs?
No, actually. I heard it did get released on Steam, which is funny as shit.
Well, I've got bad news for you guys. You cannot purchase it anymore.
Yeah, I should have bought it when I had the chance.
What happened? What happened?
The Steam version, basically, there's some accusations going on that it does some sketchy stuff. This is primarily based because there's a program that you need to launch first if you play the game, and this program in particular, people notice that it's utilizing 100% of their GPU usage. This is basically just because it's a launcher that I think is made in UE5 or UE4, and it just runs at like 500 F.
Here goes a lawnmower, and no, fuck that. Anyway, continue.
Yeah,
that's why I feel that they should not be adding these types of zombies to a fog level.
I mean, it's better than not showing it at all, I guess.
I would rather these zombies not be in fog levels.
I mean, it doesn't really make a whole lot of difference aside from the fact that there's fog. You're still dealing with the zombies in
and you forgot the tall nut.
Nah, I don't really need that. I'm mostly focusing on actual like offense rather than the only lines of defense that I really have is like a pumpkin, really. I'm still glad I got the lily pads, because if I didn't, then I would have to actually no, the game reminds you, hey, you don't have any aqua plants for the pool itself. Get some, which I appreciate.
I mean, that is definitely good. It kind of reminds me of what Overwatch does when you don't have like damage type player characters in your team, or no tanks in your team. The amount of times where I had a team that was full of maze, and the game would go like, "Hey, you've got too many of the same hero."
But the game
that's pretty funny.
But the game doesn't really stop.
But either way,
that.
Either way, as I was saying, yeah. So people were pretty skeptical about the Steam version having a mandatory launcher kind of thing, and this utilizing 100% of the GPU, and it got to a point where many people were accusing it of, I don't know if it was either something data mining related or Bitcoin mining related, but enough people reported the game as being nefarious, and it got to a point where it didn't get delisted, as far as I'm aware, but the purchase button isn't there anymore.
So it's essentially it is delisted, technically.
Technically, yeah, but if it's I would say it's delisted if you also cannot look for it on Steam.
Hey, potato.
Yeah, I don't know. I just find it fucking hilarious how even with the game being notorious for its meme status, it just cannot catch a break.
Big rigs.
Like it just cannot.
Can't do it.
But I am glad that I managed to grab it when I did, and I guess I finally played Big Rigs, and most importantly, I did it legally.
And now you can't anymore. Glad you.
Oh, I can because I've already
you did.
because I've purchased
Yeah, well, you
it.
did, but nobody else did.
I'll share my Steam inventory with you if you're really that curious.
I don't really want to clog up my VRAM for big rigs. Thank you very much.
It's fucking terrible, man.
I mean, at least when you reverse, it just goes at Mach speed, which is always fun.
Yeah.
To quote a certain...
I mean, hey, to give them credit, at the very least, the enemy AI now moves.
That's in the latest version of the game though, and that was from 20 fucking years ago, and they still haven't done shit with it. They just at least it was rated by the ESRB. Know what I mean?
Yeah. Furthermore, you know that one level, I think it's the final one, that crashes the game if you try to play it?
I think it's the I think it's the second to last level you're thinking of, but yeah.
It still does. It still crashed the game.
Oh my
I don't think they even programmed. I have half of mind to believe that level hasn't even been programmed in at all. So whenever you try to load it, it crashes it.
Yeah.
Because they didn't actually develop the level. It's design the level itself. Fuck you guys! Fuck you guys! I'm going home. Now that I think about it, I really should have just reused the Unreal Tournament "Holy shit" soundbite in there, because literally, holy shit, that was close.
Mm-hmm.
And now we have
and now we have a magnet.
the magnet shroom. It gets rid of any defensive item. It gets rid of any anything made of metal that the zombies have, like buckets, buckets, pogo sticks, pickaxes, even football helmets are affected by the magnet shrooms.
Doesn't it work on the same radius as the cherry bomb?
Not necessarily. It's actually a little better than the cherry bomb, meaning that it's just you do need a minimum of maybe two magnets. Although it does work for every single row. I believe it does.
Okay.
So yeah. They work especially in these levels because there's 6 rows, whereas every other level, the pool levels are also 6 rows. So when you place them down, you're pretty much guaranteed that anything that the zombies wear that's metal is just gone, including ladders.
Right. Also, I'm trying to think, but what material are football helmets made of? Are they metal?
I would assume. I mean, I would assume so, because otherwise, how the hell would football players, American football players, I must stress, survive a bunch of blunt force trauma to the head every single time?
Well, you have to realize that football players, American football players in particular, are not actually human.
They're a bunch of barbarians. I mean,
Yeah.
barbarians are human. It's necessary.
Look, you've ever seen the comparison pics between, like, what we know as football in Europe and what Americans know as football in Europe, and particularly, like, when a player gets an injury? Like, there are American football players that have, like, blood gushing down their face, and they're still good to continue. But then, soccer players, they get, like, a slight tap on the shoulder, and the world's best acting comes into play.
And then they get a yellow card.
Yeah.
Or if you want to go extreme, then a red card. Unless you're some.
I fucking hate soccer.
Unless you're someone like fucking Segata Sanshiro who lifts a fucking like soccer net up to not get a goal whatsoever, and he gets red carded for it. I mean, makes sense because you can't really not have a goal at all out of spite of the other team. That's bad sportsmanship, like. Yeah, I'm not a fan of sports. Except for...
Oh, sports in general.
Well, with some exceptions, like... I don't know if you classify bowling as a sport, but... Some people, they don't. Because some elitist sports fans think it's not a sport at all. But... You are actually you're literally using your arm to control the spin of the ball to aim it at 10 fucking pins.
In my opinion, if it makes you sweat, it's a sport. So, Beat Saber is a sport. Bowling is a sport.
Well, if not only will it make you sweat, but it will also like. Ache. It would also have your body ache all the time afterwards.
Oh, make no mistake, I am more than aware of that. Like the other day, I went out bowling with my brother, my cousin, and a friend of mine, and my cousin in particular noticed how damp my shirt was at a certain point. It was not pretty.
Well, it wasn't pretty, but at least it was a good workout, I guess.
Yeah, but I will say, next time I should probably reserve only for 1 hour instead of 2 hours, because we did play 4 matches, oddly enough. But holy fuck, my fingers in particular were sore.
Whenever me and my family used to go bowling, we would always do like a maximum of two games.
Yeah, and how many people?
I think.
How many people were you with?
It was me, my mom, and my dad, so 3 of us.
Okay.
Yeah, if you really want to do like 3, you can, but like at that point, you're kind of just tired and you're kind of don't want to play another round, so.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, do two matches at least, because one match of bowling is not enough. You definitely need 2 to like feel like you've got your money's worth.
Yeah, well, I did 4, and it was an experience. I'll keep it at that.
It was also very expensive. I would imagine.
I think it was around 60 to 70 euros, but I found a pretty nice loophole with my father. You see, he wouldn't pay for me to do something with my friends, right? But if my brother is over and I decide to do something with him, guess what? I can charge him whatever the fuck I want as long as it's a plausible story. And this story was pretty goddamn plausible. I mean, look, I may not be an economist, alright? But I know how to manipulate people for money. I mean, hell, my cousin, when we were done bowling, I asked him for €1 so we could play a match of air hockey. I originally wanted to do to try out the DDR machine, but there were two problems with it. The first one is that it was a Disney DDR machine, and I really didn't feel like dancing to some Disney tracks. And the second one is that for whatever reason it didn't accept the coin that I put in the slot, and I think it's because it only accepts €1 coins, and we put a €2 coin in it.
I mean, Disney's Rave is pretty good. From what I've heard, it's a genuinely good like DDR game, but I can understand why you wouldn't give it a shot because Disney.
Yeah,
but the difference is,
I don't know. It just didn't have an appealing song list, in my opinion.
Yeah, actual Disney is just but Japanese Disney. Oh, that's good shit.
But yeah, sure. No, I did manage to convince my cousin to give me €1 for
Disney's Rave.
For the air hockey for the air hockey machine that we decided to use instead, and I won from my brother. But a few days later, he did. We were talking about it, and he kind of jokingly mentioned it. So I did the next logical thing. I got him Heavy Rain on Steam.
That's great. It's such a great brother you are.
Cousin.
Okay, great cousin. You're relative. All right. Sorry. You're right.
Yeah.
Anyway, such a great cousin you are, man.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he was pretty cool about it.
Indeed.
And hey, technically speaking, you know, I borrowed €1 from him, and I gave him back something that was €4. So, you know, pretty good.
This is your mother. Like how they just completely misspelled their frickin' like words because they're zombies and they don't know English. Also, yeah, photosensitivity warning. There's gonna be a bunch of flashing lights like that. So, prepare your eyes for this shit. Also, yeah. Whenever this stage pops up, this song that you're hearing doesn't even play in the actual stage when it really should have. So I completely added it in post.
Okay, This game got a Xbox 360 arcade version, right?
Yeah, it did get a Xbox Live Arcade release.
Is it backwards compatible?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Because it was on... It is on Game Pass.
It was.
Okay, well,
yeah.
It's on EA Play now, I guess?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, well, in that case, even though I've got no experience with this game in particular, allow me to give you some advice. If you play this game, don't turn on Auto HDR.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Okay.
I had to do it. I had to do that.
Because I remember when I just got my new TV, I hooked up the Xbox to it, and I played Batman Arkham Asylum. And don't worry, I am going somewhere with this. Because I wanted to take advantage of the capabilities my TV had, I decided to use Auto HDR because that's a feature that the Xbox Series line of consoles have. But whenever I swapped to Detective Vision, I noticed that the screen got so bright, all of a sudden, the flashing, it hurt my eyes. And I'm not photosensitive.
Yeah, the fact that...
And I can only imagine how terrible it's going to be with this. So, yeah, if you play it on Xbox Series, keep Auto HDR off.
Yeah. And, you may not be photosensitive, but you are neurodivergent. Which means us neurodivergents are very, susceptible to photosensitivity. The most, compared to other human beings in the planet.
I'm a lot of things, Nate.
Yeah, I'm aware of that. And neurodivergent
Mostly
is,
tired, but a lot of
and
things.
neurodivergent is one of them. I can tell. I'm sorry, but I can tell.
Is Divergent a good movie?
It's okay, I guess. It kind of gets worse though.
Yeah. Like, I'm hearing some good things about Divergent, but I'm hearing not so many good things about Insurgent.
Or Allegiant. Which
They made a third
yeah,
one?
there's 3 of them.
Wow.
And
I need to watch more movies.
and also Allegiant is in 2 movies. Like the whole frickin' Deathly Hallows bullshit. When it should have been 1 movie.
Actually, we've decided to not give that series as much attention, so the new example will be Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning.
It's still the same. I mean, look, all right. It's an example. It's a example.
Yes, and now we've got a new example.
Says who? It's still it's
Says me.
me. You're not in charge of this channel. Yeah, we're all.
Yes, I
We're
am.
all equally in charge of our own shit on this channel. Spoiler alert.
No the fuck you not. Get the fuck out of my house.
Well, that ends the playthrough then.
Well, yeah. See you guys later.
You'd better edit in the Discord leaving call sound effect.
I mean, maybe not. I don't know. There's a lot of shit.
Yeah, I don't know. It's on my playthrough. It's on my channel.
I forgot what we were even talking about before the whole that whole spiel. Fuck.
We were talking about Mission Impossible. Actually, we were talking about Harry Potter. Actually, we were talking about Divergent.
Actually, we were talking about 2-part finales that should be 1 movie finales.
Yeah. Well, I mean, hypothetically speaking, if Deadly Hallows was 1 movie, it would be a really long fucking movie, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would have been 4.5 hours. Actually, maybe maybe 5 hours actually. Around 4 or 5 hours.
I wouldn't have appreciated it if they went full endgame on us.
Well, Endgame lasted 3, and even though it is 3 hours long, it didn't even feel like 3 hours.
Then what movie am I thinking of that was really fucking long?
Return of the King.
Lord of the Rings.
Was that one 5 hours?
4.5 extended. The extended edition is 4.5, and the regular one is 3, and the regular theatrical version is 3.5, I think.
And was that one where the actor actually broke his toe?
No, that's 2 Towers.
Yep. No.
Okay,
Twin
that's
Towers.
2 Towers.
Yeah, 2 Towers. Still
Yeah.
the same
Yeah,
franchise.
but different.
It's still the same franchise.
but different movie.
And I'm gonna be honest, that's kind of one of the main reasons why I haven't sat down and watched the movies yet, because I know for a fact that if I watch it with someone else, they are going to pause the movie and they're gonna be like, "Did you know?"
Like a nerd.
There's always that guy.
Yeah, I mean,
What, are you that guy?
No. I just let people watch the movie when it at full thing. You know, I don't even pause the thing just for fun facts and shit, because that shit's at least not every chance I get, which would be every 10 minutes, which would be would be annoying as shit.
No, if I want a "Did you know?" I'll just pause the movie if I'm watching it on Prime Video, so I can take a look at what song is playing, or if that guy who I'm looking at really is the guy from who played Gustavo Fring on Breaking Bad.
Or just Shazam it.
And now we have a catapult.
Or just.
And now we have a catapult.
Or you could just Shazam it.
I thought Shazam only works for songs.
It does work. It does work for songs.
Yeah, but only for songs.
Yeah, you were saying that like you were
Oh, right. Yeah,
you were
yeah.
wondering what song was playing while watching the episode, and you could have just Shazammed it.
Well, yeah. Do people is Shazam even still a thing?
Yeah,
Like, if I really need to know, I'll just use my Google Assistant for it.
I mean, Shazam is better because you could just play it and then just it just shows up on your phone through the phone's microphone.
Yeah, but you can do the same thing with the Google Assistant.
Really? Yeah, I shouldn't be surprised. I shouldn't be surprised. I don't know. I've used Shazam like the most compared than when it comes to finding songs that I've heard from movies or TV shows or YouTube video or
Yeah.
even other YouTube videos. So
A part of me does find it odd that Spotify, to my knowledge, doesn't have that feature built in.
I don't know why Spotify or Apple Music doesn't have that shit.
Yeah, well, fuck Apple Music. We've already
already-
established that much.
But the point is, I'm surprised either of those don't have the same capabilities as Shazam does with that.
Yeah, but Shazam does allow you to. Shazam does integrate with Spotify, doesn't it?
Yeah, you can. Whenever you search a song, you could just say, say search on Spotify, and it gives you the thing.
That's very good.
Indeed, which another reason,
And very helpful.
which is another reason why I love Shazam, because you don't have to go back and forth between applications just to search it manually.
Yeah, I do hate it how whenever I say Shazam, somewhere the thunder strikes.
Yeah, I don't like that either.